could you call the roll, please? Justin, call the roll, please.
Mr. Owens? Here. Mrs. Agar?
Here.
Mr. Dorsey?
Here.
Mr. Smith?
Here.
And Mr. Staton.
Here. I'd like to mention Mayor Runk regrets that he was unable to attend tonight's meeting. He extends his sincere apologies and wishes everyone a productive and successful meeting. We'll be moving on to public comments. Public participation during this meeting is welcome and conducted in accordance with Ohio law, including Ohio Revised Code 2917.12. All attendees are expected to engage respectfully and avoid any conduct that disrupts or interferes with the orderly conduct of the meeting. Individuals wishing to speak should follow the established procedures, be recognized before addressing the body. Failure to comply may result in removal to ensure the meeting proceeds in an orderly manner. Persons wishing to make comments will be limited to 3 minutes each, with a total comment period of 30 minutes for public comments. We have one person who's signed up tonight, Mr. Albright.
I'll sign up every meeting. If you're going to show up, you might as well talk. But again, you guys got public comments first, and I really ain't sure what the world's going on tonight. You should have public comments after business is discussed and before you do your mandatory votes or whatever you need to do. Last time I was here, I heard about golf carts on Main Street. That's a horrible idea, Zagar. They just had a kid fall off one and had air care up there on top of the hill on a golf cart. You're going to add golf carts to all this traffic. That's horrible. You guys approved another 140 homes after a fire levy fell, and you guys' fire services is all in doubt. I'm still waiting to hear a number. I ain't never going to get it. Everybody's going to double their taxes. You guys are going to get it some kind of deal worked out. I mean, that's crazy. But I'm sure you've all heard my spiel again. And public comments before anything gets discussed.
All right, thank you for your comments. Moving on, Mr. Stewart, do you have anything you need to apprise us of before we move on?
The only thing that the mayor wanted me to talk about, which is actually towards the end of the agenda, is the America 250 mural. We're currently waiting on an easement agreement with the railroad to start the painting on the wall. Hope to have that probably done with Norfolk and Southern this week.
And for everybody's information, that is, like he said, it's part of the America 250. Federal funds along with matching funds from the village were included in that project, correct?
Correct.
All right, so we'll move on to the first resolution. With the election in November, we've, as everybody knows, we have a new composition of council. As a result, we have to make new appointments to the Village of Batavia Community Improvement Corporation, or the CIC. In accordance with Community Improvement Corporation Charter, all members of council shall serve as board members to the CIC, with the village administrator, Chip Stewart, serving as executive director. We have prepared, our staff have prepared an ordinance noting the appointments. Yes, it is. The CIC is a separate entity that functions on behalf of the village. With the next CIC meeting scheduled for May 11th, it is recommended to seat the new CIC members prior to that meeting. Okay. So first we'll have Resolution 35626, which states, in accordance with Ohio Revised Code Section 705-15, council by a 75% vote agrees to suspend the 3 readings of Resolution 35726, the appointment of Community Improvement Corporation Board. Do I have a recommendation to suspend the 3 readings?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All right. You got them down? Please call the roll.
Mr.
Miss-
Owens?
Yes.
Mrs. Agar?
Yes.
Mr. Dorsey?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Staton?
Yes. Next, we move on to Resolution 35726, Appointment of Community Improvement Corporation Board. And I will note that the original resolution in here did not include Mr. Stewart, so I would like to amend the motion 35726 to include Mr. Stewart as Executive Director of the Community Improvement Corporation. Justin, would you like that as a separate item, or I believe it probably has to be?
So we'll make it as 358. We'll make that as 358-26.
And that would be a motion to amend the resolution declaring Mr. Stewart the Executive Director of the CIC.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, Randy. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, by roll.
Jim?
Mr. Owens?
Yes.
Mrs. Agar?
Yes.
Mr. Dorsey?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
And Mr. Staton?
Yes. Next, we'll move on to Resolution 35726, Appointment of the Community Improvement Corporation Board, which will include all the council members seated up here currently, along with Mr. Stewart. Do I have a motion to approve 35726?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Please call the roll.
By roll. Mr. Owens?
Yes.
Mrs. Agar?
Yes.
Mr. Dorsey?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Staton?
Yes. Next, moving on, we're going to be dealing with the appointment of a village representative to the Union Township JED number 9 board. For this one, I need a motion to declare an emergency and waive the 3 readings of ordinance 1568-26. Do I have a motion to declare an emergency? Yes, we can have some discussion.
Chip, my question is, did we just get notified about
Yes.
this? That's why we're having the
Yeah, and they
emergency?
need to have that in place for their next meeting in May.
Okay.
They were kind of short on their notice to Chip, and I also don't believe we knew that it had to be, because it's not annually, it starts out as an annual item, and then the time period changes, correct, Chip?
Yeah, it was originally for a one-year period, which we didn't realize. So the initial appointment evidently on a JED board for the village representative was only a year, and we didn't know that. So unfortunately, we have to do it by emergency to get it in for their next meeting. But this next appointment's for 4 years.
And as I understand it, if we don't do that, there's financial impact both to the township and to our village. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Good. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Chip, on the agenda, it has 5 years listed. Should that be changed to 4?
I'm sorry, no, I read it wrong. It's 5 years.
Yeah, okay, it's 5 years. So do I have a motion to declare an emergency and waive the 3 readings?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that for you.
By roll. Mr. Owens?
Yes.
Mrs. Agar?
Yes.
Mr. Dorsey?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Staton?
Yes. All right, next we have ordinance 1568-26, the Union Township number 9 board requires a representative from the village. Chip Stewart has already served 1 year, will be appointing Chip to a 5-year term. Do I have a motion to approve ordinance 1568-26 and appoint Chip Stewart as the village representative to the township, JED number 9.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Tom, all right.
By roll, Mr. Owens,
Yes.
Mrs. Agar,
Yes.
Mr. Dorsey,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mr. Staton.
Yes. So moving on, because we have the CIC meeting coming up, we have an ordinance in accordance with Ohio Revised Code section, we have an ordinance 1570-26 to transfer some parcels of land to the CIC. We need a motion to waive the 3 readings in accordance with Ohio Revised Code Section 705-15. Council by a 75% vote agrees to suspend the 3 readings of Resolution 1570-26.
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second? I'll second it.
I'm just not sure I understand why the hurry on this.
Here's my understanding, and Chip, jump in. Where we're not going to the CIC just gives the CIC the authority to do something with it. We're all still members of the CIC. It has to be transferred from the village to the CIC before we can do anything with it. It will still be the full board's decision as to what gets done with it. And we're not declaring an emergency on it, we're just moving it over to the CIC. But Chip, if you could add some more on this?
So basically, the way this all started is the former administrator had worked with Habitat for Humanity up in Union Township. And there were some parcels that have just been sitting vacant down here for years that when Ken came on board, he had contacted them about developing these properties for homes for sale. And this is kind of what they specialize in, kind of non-conforming lots to do that. The Habitat for Humanity is actually based on the previous council's recommendation, has actually gotten grants to actually work with these parcels. However, after review, when it came back to me, and I know that there was a property owner that's interested in those 2 small parcels on 7th Street. How those 2 got split off of that original plot from the 1800s or whenever, I don't know. I haven't been able to find any records on that, but it makes more sense that if that property owner wants to buy those, then they would actually rebuild that parcel into a normal parcel matching the rest of that neighborhood. But in order to do that without going out to bid, it needs to be transferred into the CIC, and then the CIC can dispose of it based on, assessed market, or not market value, but assessed property value by the auditor's office. So my recommendation would be to do that if that property owner is interested in buying those 2 parcels. And the other 4 parcels, donating those to the Habitat for Humanity so they can do something productive with those lots.
And that is your recommendation at this time, but in no way is this council or the CIC board, once the transfer occurs, obligated to any of those. It just gives them the right to be able to do something with those properties.
Correct. This just puts it into the CIC, and then the CIC can
So
decide what
at
to
this
do.
point, all we're doing is authorizing the transfer of the properties to the CIC. We're not making a commitment as to what will be the disposition of those properties at this time.
I understand that, and that's for later discussion on what, I'm not sure that I agree with all the thoughts on all the parcels. I had concerns before of things being, suspending readings and pushing things through, and I guess I just want it noted that I'm not really fond of that portion of this.
Okay, and you'll notice this is we're suspending the readings. We are not declaring an emergency.
So basically, there's not a lot of CIC meetings, and we need to have one, at least one during the calendar year. Since we haven't had one yet, we were going to put it for the beginning of the next regular council meeting at 7 o'clock on the 11th. So that was the reason for doing it.
That's probably the primary reason of stepping up the speed at this point, plus construction season's getting close too, and, you know, you take up the month and a half to 2 months, that's that we deny. If we're gonna go forward with it, that buys us some time, but,
I understand.
so we have a first by Tom and a second
By you.
by me. Could you call the roll?
Yes. By roll, Mr. Owens,
Yes.
Mrs. Agar,
Yes.
Mr. Dorsey,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
and Mr. State.
Yes. So now we're going to deal with ordinance 1570-26. It's an ordinance authorizing the transfer of real property from the Village of Batavia, Claremont County, Ohio, to the Village of Batavia, Claremont County CIC Incorporated. It's to transfer parcels 06026.246A, 06026.245, 06026.243C, 06026.243B, 060-204.180B, from the Village of Batavia, Ohio, to the Village of Batavia, Claremont County Community Improvement Incorporation, CIC. The CIC meeting is scheduled for May 11th, prior to the regular village council meeting. So do I have a motion to transfer the parcels as listed?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Tom, second. Is that Randy?
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
By roll, Mr. Owens,
Yes.
Mrs. Agar,
Yes.
Mr. Dorsey,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
and Mr. Staten.
Yes. All right, at this point, I'll turn this over to Chip.
Yeah, there's been a lot of requests for the village-wide yard sale dates. The recommended dates are the third weekend in May and the third weekend in September. I know it's been kind of a selection of the dates in the past, but to try to keep it consistent every year from year to year. The signs that we had made up last year were for the third weekend in May and the third weekend in September. So to keep that in consistency and be able to use the same signs without having to get reprints, we're asking that it be set for the third weekend of May this year, which is the 15th and 16th, and the third weekend in September, which is the 18th and 19th for the 2026 calendar year.
Do we have any discussion on this matter?
This really upsets me, really upsets me. It has been the first weekend in June for 8 or 9 years. People already know about it on Facebook and everything. I hate this. I hate it. That's just my opinion. Will school be out by then?
No, it's out the next week.
And that, go on, Tom.
So why would we switch it from that?
It's okay.
I know, why wouldn't we?
Chip?
I'm just asking. I think
That's just the recommendation that came in from me from our Public Works Department.
And I know from going through my daughter's graduation where they put it on graduation weekend,
that is the case this week.
that would be the case this year. I will not support putting it on graduation weekend. Too many people out wanting to have parties in their backyards and with everybody milling around with the yard sale.
Joanna, do you happen to know Do you happen to know when Williamsburg's and Owensville's are that we could do it the same weekend that they're doing? Okay. So the first weekend in June?
I don't think it's bad then. People come down there. No, I'm saying, why not just do it on the first? You know, first weekend of June. If we've always done it that way, why switch it?
Yeah, and we pretty well need to make a decision tonight, because if we wait till the next meeting,
Right. Well,
Can we make a motion to change the date?
oh, certainly.
I make a motion to change the date to the first weekend in June.
Okay.
which would be this June 6th and 7th.
Then a point of discussion, you want to leave it the third weekend in September?
Joanne, do you know if there's any conflicts with the
Is this on
September
Saturday?
date? Yeah, the September dates are 18th and 19th.
That's on the 12th, this would be
The
the
12th,
weekend
yeah.
after.
All right. So we have a motion to change the date of the first village-wide yard sale to June 6th and 7th. Is there any other discussion on this? Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
It's a tie between Mr. Smith and Mrs. Agar.
All right, we got
By
Randy
roll.
and Tom, and this is a motion. Could you give us a motion number, Justin?
It would be 005-26.
Okay, please call the vote on motion 005-26.
Mr. Owens?
Yes.
Mrs. Agar?
Yes.
Mr. Dorsey?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
And Mr. Staton?
Yes.
Do we need to pass another one for the-
Yes, now if you want to,
For September.
I'll make a motion to set the third weekend in September, the 18th and 19th, for the yard sale for 2026.
I'll second that motion.
And by roll, Mr. Owens?
Yes.
Mrs. Agar?
Yes.
Mr. Dorsey?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
Mr. Staton?
yes.
Joanne, thank you for speaking up, I appreciate that.
And now, Mr. Dorsey, I believe you had another issue you would like to bring?
I have some new business. One of the things that I think over the last year, the village has been in some turmoil, and I feel like we're due for some rebranding, as I feel like our past logo and stuff kind of has a bad, it's been kind of scarred. So I brought some ideas tonight to just kind of look at, and I just wanted council to maybe, I don't know, would it be a recommendation or a motion to potentially move forward, to have Chip look into the costs associated with maybe some a new logo. Chip, do you mind pulling up?
Yeah, I'm trying to, it's still downloading from your website. Let me see if I can get it out.
Oh, you have a PowerPoint for it?
I did. Does this thing mirror? Chip?
I'm trying to get get it to email. Give me a second.
And this just didn't like come out of nowhere. I think this is a very different council than what's been in place for a long time, and I think we need to reflect that in how we operate and what we, our image. And our image here is very different than the last council.
We get it. dot, 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 I've got the same password.
Oh, it's up there too. Okay.
I was afraid that this resolution would be.
It's hard to do it on a laptop.
The numbers are changeable, they're not the same.
Oh, you want me to do that from my phone?
Those were all those original, you sent an email previously that had a lot of those images on it, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll pull that one, because I said I can't get the others down.
Oh, you don't just have the email, or do you have the,
Yeah, I'll go to the email.
I don't think it has,
There's one that you sent, had a
here,
bunch of.
let me send you this link here. I think this is I'm sorry for the delay, everyone. Check one more time here. Chip, try this one I just sent you.
Okay.
There we go. Cool. The last time the logo was updated was Rex Parsons, I believe, was the village administrator. He had a contest at that time for the current logo. I had participated in that way back, and I think it was probably in the early 2000s or late 99. But this is my thought of maybe a new logo. You want to go to the next one? I put together just kind of a total identity, a new identity of the village. So here's just a few pieces that this could be on a billboard or signage on the bridge. I think it says a lot about our community. Here's some banners that I made that I thought represent Batavia. Things that, we got a church there, Presbyterian Church, the Bulldog, fireworks from the Fall Fest or Fun Fair, a parade imagery on that one. These are all just drafts. I'd like to see what other people think makes Batavia Batavia. We have the Armory, the old elementary school, the old train station, the bridge in town. I think a lot of people identify with the bridge and the train. What makes the Batavia Village home? I think the elementary, the new elementary, a lot of people believe in that. We got the old, I think that's the first schoolhouse, I believe so. City Hall, thank you. And the bell from the first school, and the county offices. So we want to go on to the next one. Here's, the old high school the old new high school. That's now the village office. The new high school. The Batavia Public Library for a lot of people is a big part of this community. It's the first library in Claremont County. We want to keep going. There should be some more. This is maybe a welcome to logo. maybe we have in and out of the village. This is just some mock-ups that, again, I don't think there's a rush to make all these changes initially. I think some of this will have to happen over time. But this is something that it could look like, when we send, if we vote to send this to the printer, or it'll be gone over by a graphic designer to give us some more options, or make sure but this is just the initial concept that I came up with. Can you go to the next slide there? Can you go back one? That was done through a contest. That logo was done.
Is that the one that the lights on the bridge, is that part of that?
That,
Building lights I'm talking about, that were designed.
Isn't on your shirt.
I didn't wear that. We can do that light. You're talking,
This one?
I think, this logo?
That's on your shirt.
Kind of looks like that, but it's not. So what was that? What was that designed for?
That one was, the old logo was designed for back in the late 90s, early 2000s. They had a contest for a logo for the village. So, oh, you're talking
You
about,
talking about the
light.
building with the light coming out of it? That's this building right here, I believe. Or, I'm sorry, that's not the, where's
You're talking about
the courthouse.
I think the light you're talking about is the one that's on the bridge.
No, I'm sorry, this one right here.
And the,
I think
Yeah.
that's what it was based off.
yes.
The top of that.
Yeah. So, these are just some designs that I think speak well to our past, our present, and hopefully maybe the future. Like I said, these are just some mock-ups. None of these has to be, these. I think we can take some maybe public input on some other things they think is so Batavia or what makes this place home, but I think it evokes emotion about why Batavia is such a special place. And does anybody have any questions here on council or? These would be the banners on the, light poles. I think they have them down here on Main Street. There's some up in the new neighborhoods. Just about community pride, the things that we're proud of, the things that, made us are who we are today, I think. And I can tell you that the banners we have up right now, I think they've been here 3-4 years or so. So I would say that they will last quite a while. I know the ones that we currently have hanging, they're starting to fade, that are going down Main Street. So it really depends on the product you buy. I know I've talked to Mr. Dingo in the past for things that we've purchased for my employment. They use signage there. And some of these have like UV protectant. It also depends on like how thick of the material that you use. So there's lots of factors to say how long these banners will last based on what we spend. If you go with high quality, they'll last longer than if you buy some that are a little less expensive. And they were, yeah. I think these are items that over time even now, we have them on Main Street, and they have to be replaced every so many years. So that there is already a life cycle that we have set up for our banners. But I do understand what you're saying. And I think there's even room to maybe do a veterans thing too. You know, I think there's a lot of potential here. So, but thank you.
Just saying that because of our experience. My son's band was put up and after about 2 years it was destroyed.
Mm,
Then we went back to them and we had to repay
mm.
band remained.
There's just a lot of variables about the quality of the materials and the type of ink that they use on those items, of how long they last. Thank you, I appreciate
So,
that.
Mr. Dorsey, at this point, are you looking for a motion to direct the administrator to study cost options for this? Something
Yeah,
along that line?
something along those lines, or have a designer look at these and see what the feasibility is to have something very similar to that created or made, or,
I think having some public input too, would be, on that.
Would you be looking to do this as Officer Warner? It's definitely an option. I know we've looked into putting polls on social media before, and I haven't seen it occur yet, but it doesn't mean we can't keep trying.
I know for, depending on the printer that we use, or some of these banners, there may not necessarily be a discount because they just print them. So, you know, we could have multiple different ones hanging at the same time. But I do think it would be nice to have public input on like what they think is so Batavia, like what makes them love this place so much that, you know, these were just some of the things I thought of, but I'm sure other people have other things that they think is so Batavia, like the Batavia Swim Club. Like, I think that is so Batavia, you know? So I just think there's a lot of potential here to brag on what we feel our home is, you know, and why we love it so much.
Let me try to put a motion together then. How about a motion that we direct the village administrator to create a preliminary study for the rebranding as discussed, and report back to us by our next regular council meeting with a preliminary report. And we can decide from there where to go further.
Okay.
I would make that motion and thank Randy for his hard work to put all that together. I think it's about time, and I really like what we've seen so far, and we'd love to see the next stage, so I'll make that motion.
I'll second that motion.
All right. We have
All
a
right.
motion by Jim, a second by Laura. Could you please call the roll?
Yes. Mr. Owens?
Yes.
Mrs. Agar?
Yes.
Mr. Dorsey?
Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Yes.
And Mr. State?
Yes. Now, we've already discussed the America 250 mural. I have missed one agenda item, so we're going to go back and do it real quickly. If everybody could join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you. We have a couple of committee meetings coming up. We have the next regular council meeting is May 11th at 7 p.m. Planning and zoning is Tuesday, May 19th at 7 p.m. Finance and budget is Thursday, May 21st at 4:30 p.m. And the Batavia CIC meeting will be Monday, May 11th at 7 p.m. And I don't seem to see the joint cemetery meeting on here.
I would like to add to the record the joint cemetery meeting is scheduled to be held here at Village Hall with the township and the village officials. for their annual meeting. That will happen at 6:30 on Monday, May the 11th.
Yeah, yeah, it's going to be a busy night. We'll have the joint cemetery at 6:30. It would immediately be followed by the Batavia CIC meeting at 7 PM, and then followed by the regular council meeting at whatever time that happens to be after the CIC meeting. Does anybody want to share anything on any of their committees or may have any committee reports?
The CJ Fed, they had a fire truck that was in a car accident on, I believe that was Fifth Street, a few weeks ago, so they have a fire truck that is out of service. At the other fire truck that was out of service for repair, it had, I think, a valve leak or a seal leak. It's been repaired and put back into service. The equipment that they have currently is requiring a lot of upkeep and maintenance because of their age. But that was a little bit of a setback that there was an accident. It was not the firefighter's fault, but the driver's fault. Jim, was there anything else that you took from? Yeah. So anyway, that's where we are with the fire department. They just have a lot of needs as far as repairs, so, thank you.
All right, and if we could, we had started a discussion at the last meeting about the park beside the building and naming it after former council member Kathleen Turner. I'd kind of like to keep that in front of council and make sure that we still want to proceed in that direction to name that after Mrs. Turner. Is everybody okay with that?
Yes.
Yes.
And I believe, Chip, you were, or I apologize, I believe it was Chris Moore was going to look in to whether there were any legal requirements we needed to meet on that. And as you can see, Mr. Moore couldn't be here tonight. So I'll pass on to Mr. Runk to make sure Mr. Moore provides us an update at the next meeting on what we need to do in order to make that happen.
I did touch base with Kathy's daughter, Kelly. She was very grateful for that. She's looking forward to helping with design or whatever that
That'd be great.
we plan to do. So on their behalf, thank you.
All right. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.